Have you ever wondered why some people give you a polite smile but slowly take a step back? Or why your grandkids suddenly pull away from hugs they used to love? What if the real reason isn't poor hygiene, but something your body has been silently producing for years? I'm Dr. Henry Thompson, a geriatric specialist with over 40 years of experience, and today I'm revealing a hidden truth that could completely change how you feel around others. Stay with me until the end, because I'll share a simple, doctor-approved method to eliminate age-related body odor naturally, and bring back the confidence to embrace those you love without hesitation. Last week, I met an 88-year-old gentleman named Frank Wilson, sharp-minded, witty, and full of life. Yet, he leaned toward me and said with a half-smile, "Doctor, I wear the most expensive cologne money can buy, but my son still won't stay in my room for more than a minute." His frustration was clear, and it's something countless seniors experience without realizing the cause. To drive his point home, Frank walked over to the window, pushed it wide open, and let the cool air rush in. His expression said it all, disappointment mixed with confusion. I looked at him and said gently, "Frank, to be honest, that expensive cologne isn't fixing the problem. It's actually making it worse. You're just masking the odor instead of removing it." I explained that it's like spraying air freshener in a bathroom that hasn't been cleaned in weeks. It might hide the smell for a moment, but the source is still there. And this is where so many older adults go wrong. The moment they catch an unpleasant scent, their first reaction is to pile on deodorant or perfume, hoping to disguise it. But that quick fix often backfires. The mix of natural body odor with strong floral or musky colognes creates a harsh, lingering scent that can be even more unpleasant. Over time, I've seen proud, independent seniors grow painfully self-conscious as family members crack windows or quietly move away, unsure how to tell them the truth. The only real way to break this uncomfortable cycle is to identify the true source of the odor and deal with it directly. So, what's really behind that so-called old person smell? Most assume it's simply due to aging or poor hygiene, but the truth lies in science, and understanding it is the first step toward fixing it. Let me explain the three main biological changes that occur as we age. Once you understand these, you'll see why cologne and deodorant can't solve the problem. First, let's talk about perspiration. When we're young, our bodies function like well-oiled machines, releasing nearly a quart of sweat each day to flush out toxins and refresh the skin. But after 60, that amount can drop to less than half, sometimes even a third, of what it used to be. You might think less sweat means less odor, but it's actually the opposite. Sweat is nature's cleansing system. Without it, toxins and waste linger on the skin, giving bacteria and microorganisms the perfect environment to thrive and produce that unpleasant scent. I remember a 71-year-old patient, Nancy Clark, once asking me, "Dr. Henry, I barely sweat anymore. Why do I still smell?" I told her that was exactly the problem. Her body wasn't flushing out what it should. Then there was Robert Evans, 73, who laughed and said, "I used to sweat buckets when I was young. Now, nothing." He had no idea that his body's silence was actually the cause of the problem. He laughed and said, "I thought it was a blessing when the sweating stopped, but it's not." He was right. Less perspiration means more buildup on the skin, and that's where the problem begins. The second change involves sebum, the natural oil your skin produces to stay soft and protected. As we age, the composition of this oil changes in subtle but powerful ways. After more than 30 years of research, I discovered that a compound called 2-non-enal is the true culprit behind that distinct old person smell. This oxidized fatty acid begins appearing in the skin's oils around age 50, increases over the next decades, and peaks near 70. It's rarely found in younger people, yet in older adults, it gives off a greasy, stale odor that's hard to ignore. This isn't about poor hygiene, it's pure chemistry at work. The third change takes place in the mouth, and it often makes things worse. After 60, saliva production can drop by more than half. That may not sound serious, but saliva is your body's natural cleanser. It balances mouth pH and helps wash away odor-causing bacteria. When your mouth dries out, bacteria multiply rapidly, leading to bad breath that no mint can truly hide. I'll never forget 69-year-old Linda Harris quietly admitting, "When I talk, I can smell it myself. My mouth feels like a desert. I've started avoiding my grandchildren because I'm so embarrassed." Her story is one I've heard far too often, and it all stems from these simple but powerful biological shifts. That dry mouth caused by reduced saliva is one of the silent but powerful culprits behind persistent body odor. So even if you shower every day, wear perfume, or use mouthwash, the smell often lingers, because these three biological changes are quietly working against you. But here's the encouraging news. You can fix it, and it's far simpler than most people think. You've just been missing the key pieces of the puzzle. Once you understand how to address the root cause, everything changes. Many people waste time and money chasing temporary fixes, but the real solution lies in working with your body, not against it. And when you do it right, results can appear in as little as a week. Imagine walking into a room without anyone flinching, or hugging your grandchildren without hesitation. These aren't just hopes, they're outcomes my patients have lived. Take 75-year-old James Parker, for instance. When he first visited my clinic, he could barely look me in the eye. "My grandkids won't come into my room," he confessed quietly. "My son keeps opening the windows." But 6 months later, James returned with a proud smile, because he had finally discovered that eliminating odor wasn't about masking it, but about restoring balance inside and out. "My grandkids climb onto my lap again," James told me, his voice full of pride. That transformation is possible for anyone willing to take the right steps. And the best part? You don't need expensive medications, special equipment, or endless trips to pharmacies or clinics. This method, supported by over 5 decades of solid medical research, can be started right at home, today. In my own practice, nearly 97% of patients who followed this approach noticed real, measurable improvement. So let's talk about the foundation of this simple yet powerful strategy. It begins with something so basic that most people overlook it: drinking enough warm water throughout the day. Yes, plain water is the key. You might be wondering, how could something so simple make a difference? The answer lies in water's essential role in your body's natural detoxification process. It helps your urinary system flush out toxins, impurities, and metabolic waste that quietly build up over time, the very substances that contribute to that lingering odor. Sometimes, the simplest habit can bring the greatest change, and in this case, it starts with a single glass of warm water. By staying properly hydrated, you're giving your body one of its most powerful cleansing tools: the ability to detoxify from the inside out. I've seen firsthand how consistently drinking warm water can noticeably reduce that distinct odor often associated with aging. Take 72-year-old Margaret Adams, one of my long-term patients. She told me, "When I first started drinking a glass of warm water every morning, it felt odd. It took a bit of discipline to stick with it, but after a month it became second nature. Now, if I skip it, I actually miss it. Even my grandchildren have mentioned that I smell fresher and my skin looks more vibrant." I recommend aiming for 6 glasses of warm water a day. If that feels like too much, break it into a simple, steady routine. 1 glass after waking, 1 before lunch, 1 after lunch, another mid-afternoon, 1 before dinner, and 1 before bed. When done consistently, it becomes as natural as brushing your teeth. But keep in mind, not all drinks count. Tea and coffee, for example, don't replace water. In fact, coffee acts as a diuretic, meaning it pulls water out of your system. So, if you enjoy your daily cup, make sure to drink extra water to balance things out. The second core principle of this method is equally simple yet powerful: adding short, gentle walks in the sunlight to your daily routine. I often hear older patients say, "Doctor, I'm too old to exercise." But the truth is, the right kind of movement can make all the difference. Rest assured, I'm not talking about strenuous workouts or anything close to marathon training. Even a gentle 20-minute stroll in the sun can bring surprising benefits. Sunlight acts as a natural disinfectant, helping to eliminate bacteria on your skin that contribute to unpleasant odors. At the same time, light walking stimulates mild perspiration, allowing your body to release toxins through your sweat glands, a simple yet powerful detox process. To make this safe and enjoyable, choose your timing wisely. Avoid the harsh midday sun and instead walk before 10 a.m. or after 4 p.m. when the air is cooler and the sunlight is softer. One of my patients, Fred Taylor, once told me, "Doctor, just thinking about walking made my legs ache. You suggested starting with 10 minutes a day, and even that felt like a challenge." But within weeks, he noticed change. "I still move slowly," he said, "and I catch my breath now and then, but I can feel the difference." His story is proof that consistency always outweighs intensity. The third pillar of this approach may seem basic, but it's crucial: committing to a daily warm shower. Many people tell me, "Doctor, winter's too cold for that," or "It's just too much effort." Yet this one habit can make all the difference. However, regular bathing isn't optional when it comes to maintaining hygiene and preventing odor. A warm shower helps wash away bacteria, dirt, and pollutants that collect on your skin throughout the day, stopping them from building up and causing unpleasant smells. But here's something most people overlook. Avoid using water that's too hot. Excessive heat strips your skin of its natural oils, leaving it dry, irritated, and ironically, more prone to odor. Instead, aim for a comfortably warm temperature, around 100 degrees or 38 degrees, and if possible, indulge in a 20-minute soak at that same temperature once a week. This longer bath helps open your pores, flush out embedded dirt, and rejuvenate your skin. Many of my patients tell me that after adding this routine, their skin feels softer, smoother, and noticeably fresher, with a significant reduction in odor. Now, here's the detail that truly makes the difference. During your shower, focus on 3 key areas often missed: the folds and crevices where sweat and bacteria accumulate. These include spots like behind the ears, under the arms, beneath the breasts, the navel, the groin, behind the knees, and the inner elbows. Seniors often overlook these areas due to limited mobility or simply out of habit. Yet, they're the very places where odor-causing bacteria thrive unnoticed. One of my patients, Margaret, once told me, "I never realized how much sweat was trapped in those folds until I started washing them properly." It's made an incredible difference. By simply following these 3 steps, drinking warm water throughout the day, taking brief walks in the sunlight, and showering daily while paying close attention to key areas, you can significantly reduce the so-called old person smell and feel noticeably fresher. This approach isn't about expensive products or complicated routines. It's about applying simple, proven habits rooted in decades of medical understanding. Susan Brooks, a lively 66-year-old grandmother, once told me, "Dr. Henry, for years I've taken daily showers, but I never thought about how I was washing. When I started using your method, especially focusing on my chest and underarms, the change was astonishing." She beamed as she shared, "Now my grandchildren hug me tightly again, and that lingering odor has all but disappeared." Indeed, the results can be remarkable when you focus on what truly matters: the folds of the skin, those hidden spots where sweat and bacteria quietly build up. Sometimes, the smallest changes bring the most powerful transformations. When you're in the shower, take time to gently cleanse these areas using a loofah or a soft, damp towel. Be careful not to scrub too harshly. Overdoing it can irritate or damage your skin, making the problem worse instead of better. Now, let's focus on 3 critical zones: the scalp, chest, and armpits. These areas tend to trap sweat and sebum, especially where there's hair. The scalp, for instance, is often overlooked beyond a quick shampoo, yet it's one of the main sources of lingering odor. Tom Harris, a 62-year-old retiree, once told me, "I couldn't believe how much difference it made when I started massaging my scalp properly while washing my hair. That smell that used to linger, completely gone. My grandkids even pat my head now without wrinkling their noses." For men with chest or belly hair, the same rule applies. Hair acts like a net, holding onto sweat and oils. The best approach is to create a rich lather using a mild soap or body wash, work it into the hair and skin, then rinse thoroughly. Finally, dry the area completely with a clean towel to prevent lingering moisture, which encourages bacterial growth. And don't overlook another key zone: your hands, the spaces between your toes and your feet. These areas have a high concentration of sweat glands, making them prime spots for odor if ignored. John Miller, 68, shared with a laugh, "My feet used to smell terrible, but once I started washing between my toes, drying them properly, and wearing clean socks, that odor disappeared completely." Simple habits like these can make a remarkable difference, not only in how you smell, but in how confident and comfortable you feel every single day. "My daughter-in-law doesn't wrinkle her nose anymore when she walks into my room," John laughed, proud of the change. To keep things under control, always choose breathable cotton socks and change them daily, ideally after washing and scrubbing your feet, including between the toes. Another smart tip is to rotate your shoes, giving each pair at least a full day to air out and dry completely. And don't forget your back, one of the most neglected spots. Sweat trapped there can soak into clothing and linger. Use a long-handled brush or cloth to gently but thoroughly clean that area. Stick with warm, not hot water, since overly hot water can strip away your skin's natural oils and ironically make odor worse over time. When it comes to soap, skip heavily scented or deodorizing bars. They often mask the problem instead of fixing it. Choose a mild, fragrance-free cleanser that's gentle on aging skin. Mary Johnson, 71, once told me, "I didn't think something so simple could actually make a difference, but it worked like magic. Now my grandson sits comfortably on my lap again, no hesitation." And remember, what you do after your shower matters just as much as the shower itself. Proper post-shower care is key to keeping your skin healthy and odor-free. Moisturizing is essential, especially during dry, cold months when the skin tends to flake and trap subtle odors. For added benefit, make it a weekly ritual to soak in a comfortably warm bath, around 100 degrees for about 20 minutes. This helps loosen dirt and impurities deep within the pores. After bathing, dry your skin completely and lock in moisture with a light, fragrance-free lotion to keep your skin soft and healthy. Here's the truth. If you don't take action now, that lingering odor can slowly distance your loved ones and chip away at your confidence. But the good news is, by focusing on these three key habits, hydration, gentle cleansing, and consistent care, you can notice a dramatic change in just a week. No more awkward glances or quiet embarrassment, just the comfort of feeling clean, fresh, and self-assured. Once this routine becomes second nature, it's time to explore the next layer: how diet and lifestyle affect body odor. Many patients ask me, "Dr. Henry, is there more I can do beyond daily washing?" The answer is a clear yes. What you eat can directly influence how your body smells. Take Betty Carter, a 60-year-old garlic lover who once confessed, "I've eaten garlic all my life. Could that be part of the problem?" She was surprised by what I told her next. "Could that really be what's causing my scent?" Betty asked, half joking but curious. The truth is, strong-smelling foods like garlic or spices might temporarily affect your breath or sweat, but in the long run, their antioxidants actually help counteract the musty odors linked to aging. Step 1 is to increase your antioxidant intake. It may sound complicated, but it's quite simple. Antioxidants fight oxidation, the chemical process behind those unpleasant age-related smells. Load your plate with foods like tomatoes, apples, strawberries, buckwheat, and brown rice. These powerhouses help neutralize internal aging and reduce odor from within. Paul King, a lively 79-year-old patient, told me, Dr. Henry said to eat 1 tomato and 1 apple every day. 2 months later, my granddaughter hugged me and said, "Grandpa, it's like magic. You don't smell bad anymore." Even garlic, despite its bold aroma, contains allicin, a compound that, once digested, fights bacteria and oxidation. Just 1 or 2 cloves a day can quietly improve both your scent and your health. Step 2 is to focus on water-rich foods like tomatoes, pears, and watermelon. These natural hydrators flush toxins through the kidneys, reducing the buildup that leads to odor. Nancy Miller, 68, shared, "I started eating half a cucumber and a tomato every day. After 3 months, my friends told me that old person smell was completely gone." If chewing raw vegetables feels like a chore, blend them into a daily smoothie. It's a simple and effective way to fight age-related odors from the inside out. Chewing sugar-free gum can also help by increasing saliva flow, which naturally cleanses the mouth and reduces odor. In fact, chewing xylitol gum for just 10 minutes after meals can noticeably freshen your breath while protecting your teeth. Next, it's crucial to cut down on alcohol and caffeine. Drinks like alcohol, tea, and coffee dehydrate the body, intensifying unwanted smells. When alcohol is broken down in the liver, it produces acetaldehyde, a compound that exits through your sweat and carries a distinct odor. George Carter, 71, admitted, "I used to drink a bottle of whiskey every day. After switching to barley tea for a month, the smell finally disappeared." If you enjoy coffee, limit it to 1 or 2 cups a day and replace some of it with water or barley tea. Cutting back on alcohol or eliminating it altogether can make a huge difference. Finally, make sure you're getting enough fiber. When waste lingers in your system, toxins can re-enter the bloodstream and escape through the skin, worsening body odor. Eating fiber-rich foods like brown rice, oats, whole grains, and fresh fruit helps prevent this and supports a healthy gut. Margaret Evans, 77, shared, "I struggled with constipation most of my life, but once I started eating brown rice and soup for breakfast, not only did my digestion improve, my body odor faded too." Beyond its well-known role in preventing cavities, chewing xylitol-sweetened gum for about 10 minutes after meals offers an added benefit. It helps reduce mouth odor. This simple habit works by stimulating saliva, your body's natural cleanser, keeping your breath fresher for much longer. Another crucial step in controlling body odor is to reduce alcohol and caffeine intake. Drinks like alcohol, tea, and coffee dehydrate your body, which in turn amplifies odors by concentrating the very compounds that cause them. When alcohol is processed by the liver, it converts into acetaldehyde, a strong-smelling substance that exits through sweat, giving perspiration an unpleasant scent. George Carter, a 71-year-old retiree, admitted, "I used to drink a bottle of whiskey every day, and it was the root of my odor problem. But after switching to barley tea for a month, the smell started to disappear." If you're a coffee lover, try limiting yourself to 1 or 2 cups a day and replace the rest with hydrating drinks like barley tea or plain water. Reducing or eliminating alcohol altogether can make a remarkable difference in minimizing odor and improving overall freshness. Incorporating enough dietary fiber is just as important when it comes to managing body odor, especially because it directly impacts your digestive health. When constipation causes waste to linger in the intestines, toxins are reabsorbed into the bloodstream and released through the skin, a process that can amplify unwanted odors. To combat this, focus on eating fiber-rich foods like brown rice, whole grains, fruits, and vegetables. These help keep your bowels regular and your gut healthy. Starting your morning with a bowl of brown rice or oats can do wonders for your digestion. Margaret Evans, 77, who struggled with constipation for years, shared, "Once I began eating brown rice and soup for breakfast, not only did my digestion improve, but my body odor faded dramatically." Ignoring these habits now could lead to wasting money on expensive, ineffective products later. By making small, deliberate changes to your diet and hygiene, you'll notice meaningful improvements in how you feel and smell. These habits don't just mask odors, they enhance your overall health, vitality, and confidence. And before we move forward, remember, wearing clean, freshly washed clothes is one of the simplest yet most powerful ways to prevent that so-called old age smell. Dirty clothes and bedding can quickly undo even the best personal hygiene efforts. Sweat, sebum, and dead skin cells collect on worn garments, creating the perfect breeding ground for bacteria, especially in warm, humid weather. To stay fresh, make it a priority to change your clothes and underwear daily. It's a small habit that yields big results. Robert Harris, 72, recalled, "I used to wear the same clothes for 3 or 4 days before washing them. My doctor suggested changing daily, and it made a world of difference." This simple adjustment prevents odors from taking hold. When choosing what to wear, opt for natural fabrics like cotton, which help wick moisture away from the skin better than synthetic materials. Synthetic fibers, by contrast, trap sweat and encourage bacterial growth. Whenever possible, wash your clothes and bedding regularly and dry them in direct sunlight. The UV rays naturally disinfect and eliminate odor-causing germs. If the weather doesn't allow sun drying, ensure everything is fully dry before wearing or storing to prevent a musty smell. Your bedding deserves the same attention. You spend nearly a third of your life in bed, where sweat, oils, and skin flakes build up over time. Wash your sheets and pillowcases weekly, and change pillowcases even more often since they absorb oils from your hair and skin. Linda Parker, 75, shared, "I used to wash my sheets once a month, but after switching to weekly washing, my bedroom smells completely fresh. Every few years, replace pillows and blankets, as they can harbor dust mites and bacteria that contribute to lingering odors. Clean clothes, fresh sheets, and sunlight. These simple habits can make your home and body feel renewed. Footwear and socks play a bigger role in your overall scent than most people realize. Foot odor can subtly spread through your surroundings, so start by changing your socks daily and choosing breathable cotton instead of synthetic fabrics. Avoid wearing the same pair of shoes 2 days in a row. Rotating them gives each pair time to dry and breathe. For added freshness, sprinkle a bit of baking soda inside your shoes to absorb lingering odors." Paul King, 69, shared, "I wore the same shoes for years. But once I began rotating them and changing my socks daily, the smell disappeared, and my grandson stopped avoiding my room." Ventilation is another often overlooked key to odor control. Stale indoor air traps unpleasant smells, so make it a habit to open your windows for at least 10 minutes every morning and evening. Fresh air circulation keeps your home feeling clean and comfortable. Pay extra attention to kitchens and bathrooms. These spaces tend to trap moisture and odors. A simple fix is placing an open container of baking soda in these rooms to help neutralize unwanted smells. Fred Taylor, 71, admitted, "I used to hate opening the windows because of the cold, but now that I air out the house twice a day, the air feels lighter, and my daughter-in-law doesn't wrinkle her nose anymore." In the end, that distinct old person smell isn't caused by one single thing. It's the result of several subtle factors working together. Oxidized sebum, reduced saliva that leads to dry mouth, poor diet, irregular hygiene, lack of hydration, unwashed clothing and bedding, and changes in perspiration. All of these factors silently contribute to that lingering odor many associate with aging. But the good news is, you can take control of it starting today. Begin by drinking at least 6 cups of warm water each day, taking a gentle 20-minute walk in the sunlight, and giving special care to cleaning key areas of your body. Incorporate antioxidant-rich foods, such as fruits, vegetables, and even garlic into your meals. Maintain good oral hygiene with consistent brushing and gentle tongue cleaning. And don't overlook the importance of washing your clothes and bedding regularly. These small, consistent habits cost almost nothing, yet make a world of difference. Beyond simply eliminating odor, these lifestyle adjustments uplift your confidence and improve your overall well-being. They help rebuild closeness with family, strengthen social connections, and allow you to embrace every hug without hesitation. Margaret Adams, 62, shared joyfully, "After 6 months of following my doctor's advice, my grandchild now curls up on my lap again to watch TV and shower me with hugs and kisses. Thank you for giving me that joy back." You too can experience that same transformation. Don't let unpleasant odors create distance between you and your loved ones, especially when the solution is simple, natural, and within reach. Take these steps to refresh your body, renew your confidence, and reconnect with those who matter most. Wishing you lasting health, happiness, and peace. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel, Healthy Aging Blueprint, for more doctor-backed insights on living your best life.